Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Oh, my gosh, it's Ash Wednesday, so happy February 17th. So I want to share with you something that was really, really pivotal to my business. Oh, this is Diane Covington, by the way. And it has not only started to completely change my business, but completely change my results. So who, as a show of hands, and I know I can't see your hands, but who would love to get outrageously bigger results than they've been getting? Who would like to build confidence in doing virtual? Who would like to make more money? Okay, or who would like to feel like they're connecting better with their customers? And last question is, who wants their customers chasing them instead of feeling like you're chasing your customers? So if you've raised your hand to any of those, stay on the call. If you didn't raise your hand to any of those, you might just want to hang up now, and that's totally fine. No offense taken. So here's what I did. Jen Bessiker, who is a $1 million director, taught a class for National Sales Director Katrina Harris at her, I think it was her big annual retreat or whatever. And it was an hour-long class. And I got a copy of the recording, and yes, I will post it on our Quantum Leap Facebook page. But Jen Bessiker sold over $70,000 worth of product in 5 months. Now, you guys do the math. She sold $70,000. So let's say she gave a few discounts here and there. So she maybe sold $66,000 or whatever. Divide that in half. That would be $33,000 in 5 months. Do the math. That's profit. Profit. Oh my gosh. Are you excited? So here's what I do know. I'm teachable and trainable, and I'm smart enough that if someone shows me what to do, I can take the lead. And once I've seen that it's possible, my brain will wrap itself around anything, even if I've never done it before. So here's what I did. I've been since COVID last year in March doing things like sending out sample packets to people who said, yeah, I'd love to be pampered, and then, scheduling a session, or I'd book my own sessions. So I'd book them on Friday night and Wednesday nights. And I'd say, well, would you like to jump on Wednesday or Friday? And I felt like if they couldn't make it on those, then I was chasing them or chasing down the packages or they wouldn't get the package in time. Then we did watch parties. Now, I'm not saying don't do any of these. I'm just saying how I've pivoted a little. So let me just explain. So we were then doing watch parties where you don't even need samples. You just jump on, kind of QVC style. Often I would demo on myself, talk about things, show a lot of before and after, show a lot of customer reviews, because that's truly what I hear. The generation under 30 wants to see all these customer reviews and before and after pictures. Testimonials are huge. So I was doing that, but I just wasn't seeing the volume of people. I could mail out 10 packets and get 4 people on and maybe get some referrals, but I just felt like I was pedaling a bike, the chain kept slipping off. I was making progress, don't get me wrong, and I was building my confidence. I knew how to screen share now. I learned how to do that. For the first time ever, and some of you are going to laugh and roll your eyes, but I finally set up a VIP page. Last April, we went COVID in March. Last April, I thought, okay, I need to set up a VIP page, and I just did it. And I started texting my friends, hey, I just set up a VIP page. Will you jump on? And I just started calling my customers and texting customers, and to this date, I only have 54 people on there, but they're my 54 very best customers that buy a lot and love me and love the product and all of that. And I'm working on getting that to be over 100. But let me tell you what was pivotal for me, and I hope you're taking a few notes because I'm going to give you the very simple, condensed version. Now, I do recommend you watch the 1-hour video. But Jen Bessiker did a few things that I wasn't doing. I loved her close. I had tried different closes. I had run a closing sheet. I ran specials for 48 hours. I even had a Google form, and after the party, I would fill out a Google form. That helped a lot. I revamped my Google form. That helped even more. But I just felt like, I don't know, it was like it wasn't flowing. It was going, but it wasn't like a smooth wheel, if you know what I'm saying. So what I did, Jen Bessiker said, is make a list. Now, I wasn't sure how many yeses I'd get. I made a list of like 35 people. She said she only made a list of 5, so maybe her confidence was higher than mine. But I made a list of 30 customers. And what I did is I looked through my receipts over the last year, and I thought, okay, who buys from me on a regular basis? Who loves me? Who would I call if I was stranded by the side of the road? Like those people, right? So I made a list of like 32 or 33 people. And then I went on my date book, and I put in all my other obligations, Chamber of Commerce, networking groups, neighborhood stuff, this high school volunteer thing I do. So I put all those in, so I knew exactly when I'd be available to hold parties. And then I decided, okay, Diane, suck it up, call a person. So I looked at the list, and there was a woman named Rebecca who I didn't know a month ago, but she had received the 12 Days of Faves that I sold her boss. Her boss is a female, and she works for a big financial planning company. So to make a long story short, Becca got 12 Days of Faves. I followed up with her right after the new year and said, is there anything in the box that you have questions on, and what did you love? And she even bought Microderm right away because she loved the sample that was in there and asked for some other samples. And she just has always been positive, always sweet, super neat gal, not into using a lot of products, kind of a minimalist sort of. So I thought, what, I'm just going to call her. And these are the words I said. And I said, hey, Becca, it's Diane with Mary Kay. How are you? And she goes, I'm doing good. I said, how's your skin? She said, it's doing well. And I said, I've made the decision to go 100% virtual, and I've changed the entire process of how I'm doing virtual parties. I'm excited, but I'm really nervous. So if you guys need to, you can back this recording up and rewrite that all down. So I just let her know. I'll just run through it again really quick. I said, hey, Becca, it's Diane with Mary Kay. How are you? And she goes, I'm doing great. I said, how's your skin? She goes, oh, it feels so good. I said, Becca, so I've made the decision to go 100% virtual, and I'm doing a completely new type of beauty pampering session, like all brand new. Don't really know what I'm doing. I'm super excited, but I'm a little bit nervous and scared. So what I wanted to ask you is, what would it take to have you book a virtual session for me? And that's all I said. No explanation. I just wanted to wait and see, because if she doesn't want a lot of details, don't bog her down with details. If she wants details, she'll ask you. So those are my words. What would it take? I said, I'm excited about going all virtual, brand new procedure, but I'm a little bit nervous because I've never done this. I'm a little bit like, I seriously need practice. What would it take to have you book a virtual pampering session for me? And she said, I would do that. And I said, well, do you want to know what you get? And she goes, yeah. Now, this is just what I did. Super generous. I'm not saying you've got to give this much away. I was new. At this procedure, this is what I said to her. You get a $100 shopping spree for $50, plus 10% of the sales of the party, plus for each one of your friends that book a session, you get an additional $25 of hostess credit at her party. I just said $25 of hostess credit. Obviously, you give it to her at her friend's party when the party holds. She jumps into that party, and she gets her credit at that party. That way you're not paying for hostess credit if the parties don't hold. And she goes, wow. She goes, okay, so what do I do? And so at this point I was like, now I had never created a Facebook page for a party. And I said, well, Becca, are you on Facebook? And she said, no. And I went, wait, you're not supposed to say no, because I only know how to do it if they say yes. So I said, okay, do you think most of your friends do Facebook? She goes, probably. And I said, well, I'm going to create a Facebook page called Becca's Pampering February whatever. Or Rebecca's Pampering, whatever I said on there. And she's like, okay. And I said, so since you can't be on, I'm going to administrate it. But I said, if you want to encourage all your girlfriends to jump on there, I will just be posting a week before the party fun little 1-minute videos, some fun little tips on charcoal masks, things that they're going to be trying, and introduce myself. And she said, okay. And I said, now I'm going to send you an invitation. I make it on Pic Collage, but you can use Canva or whatever. I said, I'm going to make you an invitation, and I'm going to give you a sample text. In the sample text, it's going to ask them to RSVP to me, and it includes my phone number in it, so that way I can get their skin type, their address, figure out what samples to send. How does that sound? And she goes, okay, so what do I need to do? I said, on the Facebook thing, nothing, because you don't do Facebook. I said, I'm going to send you an invitation in about 5 minutes with a sample text, and I just need you to send it out to everybody. She goes, okay. So apparently, in hindsight, what she did is she sent out a group text to all of the women that have her position at her company all over the Bay Area, like all over California. And she said, hey, I'm doing this Mary Kay virtual pampering session. It's going to be totally fun. Skincare and charcoal mask. Are you interested? And for the ones that then said yes, they were interested, this is just what she did. She then sent them my text. And then my text said, hey, I'm super excited. I'm doing a pampering session for me and my best friends. There's a couple emojis. And then it says, please RSVP to my Mary Kay girl, Diane. And then it had my phone number. So she will be contacting you for your customized samples of skincare and charcoal, plus your mailing address and other details. Can't wait to see you. And so when she sent out this email, I found out today there were 17 people on the email. 10 of the 17 said they wanted to actually be a part of it. Turned out to be that 9 of them actually corresponded with me. We got them hooked up. The other one had a conflict. So as all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up. And it was like, hi, they didn't even tell me their name. Hi, I'm coming to Becca's thing in a week and a half or whatever. And I'd say, hi, great. Tell me your first name and when's a good time. Tell me a little bit about your skin. And then once they responded, I said, can I call you a second? I have a few more questions, because I really wanted a pre-profile in person, not have it go back and forth with texting. Every person, all 9 of them, said to me, oh, absolutely, yeah, you can call me now or call me at 5 when I get off. And when I called them, I just said, hey, it's Diane. I'm super excited you're coming. Tell me about your skin. That was my first question. Then the second, what about your skin type? Dry, normal, blah, 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 whatever. Then I said, tell me what's one thing you would love to change about your skin. And they told me either sun damage, fine lines, whatever. And then the last thing I asked them is, have you ever tried Mary Kay before? And some hadn't. And I said, okay, you'll be getting a neon pink envelope, because that's what color mine are, bubble pouch in the mail full of samples. And then I said, and then a few days before the party, I will send you a text with the Zoom link in it with all the instructions. Pajamas are optional. Pour the drink of your choice. These gals, every one of them kept me on the phone at least 5 minutes talking, like, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun. And one time I tried this and I have issues with lines around my eyes. This one, like, seriously, profiling each person, it took me 5 minutes and I did almost none of the talking. They were asking me all these amazing questions. What does that do? It develops relationships. So now we're down to 6 days before the party. So it's almost late enough that I don't know if I can mail any more packets out because the postal service is so slow. So I texted Becca and I said, hey, here's who I've heard from so far. And she goes, oh, that's really weird because Zanza and Lori wanted to do it. Let me check in with them. So sure enough, within 10 minutes, I get a text from Zanza and Lori saying, hey, we want to jump in on Becca's party. Sorry I didn't respond to you sooner. What do I need to do? So I called both of them and got their stuff. So everybody got packages in the mail. What did I mail them? Really basic, you guys. You don't have to do this. I mailed them a lookbook. I've never done that before, but I'm mailing them a full lookbook. I'm mailing them a strip of the skincare and then a charcoal mask sample and a moisture renewal gel mask sample. So 2 masking samples, charcoal is one, gel mask is the other, strip of skincare, lookbook. And the only other thing in there is my business card and then a little tic-tac-toe closing sheet. It's literally a piece of paper. It's a quarter of a sheet. So if you cut a paper in quarters, it's that big, okay? Just 1/4 of a sheet. And it's literally a tic-tac-toe, like 2 lines down, 2 lines across, and then on the bottom of it, it says 1, 2, 3. And that went in everyone's packet. So the packets all went out. I kept going on Facebook and posting. I did a couple interactive ones. 3 or 4 of the gals were interactive. The rest weren't. But I'm learning, right? So the day of the party, I suggest that we all jump on early to go through our samples and go through everything, and that way we can start right on time. Well, everybody was on early. We started right at 7. Now, my parties in the past have been about an hour and 10 minutes because I do screen sharing, and we zip through a lot of stuff, and they tell me what they love, and we make it better interactive. But Jen suggested we cut it down shorter. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to step outside the box. I'm going to do almost no screen sharing. So I just talked from my heart and held the product up in front of the camera and talked about it and did my own face. And we got to the end, and we did the whole thing. Well, we started 5 minutes late. So we did the whole thing in 40 minutes. There were 9 people on. And then I closed with this. I said, so as we were going through it really, really quick, I know this recording is getting longer and longer, but I'll try to wrap this up super fast. I said to them, now you're going to want to get out your tic-tac-toe and grab a pen. And I said, you guys, as we go through the samples that you have, or maybe I'm going to share something that you don't have a sample of, but if you're thinking when you see it, I want that in my bathroom, write it on your tic-tac-toe. Your tic-tac-toe is kind of like, if my fairy godmother was sneaking in my bathroom tonight, what would I want her to leave me? That's what I want you to put on your tic-tac-toe. So I, first of all, held up oil-free eye makeup remover, which none of them had. I talked about it, showed what it looked like, showed it how I drew a thick thing of black liner on the back of my hand and then swiped it off, and they were all in complete awe. And I said, if you think you might want that in your bathroom and for free, you put it on that tic-tac-toe. So some of them started writing. So then we went through the skincare, the charcoal mask, while the charcoal mask was drying. I don't need to tell you guys how to do the party. You got that, right? And if you don't, talk to your director. She'll help you with that. So at the end, we're all done. Now I'm thinking, okay, and I've never done this close before. I usually do like, what was your favorite thing? And so I said to them, I said, okay, you guys, so here's the deal. I have a really, really special gift for you. Really special gift, and here's how you get the gift. Everyone who within 1 hour of the close of the party, by this time it was like 5 minutes to 8, the party started at 7. And I said, so you have until 9 o'clock to text me a picture of your tic-tac-toe. If you do, you receive this really, really special gift. I said, make sure your name is at the top. And I said, notice there's three numbers in the bottom. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and guess what? I'm going to give you the answers. Don't you love quizzes like that where you get the question and the answer? And I said, so here's the deal. Question number 1 is, would you like to be my customer? And so I don't want to tell you guys the whole thing because you can watch Jen's video. Number 2 is me or free. Basically, do they want a book? And number 3 was about the career opportunity. So, and you can get it from Jen's video, which I will post. So here's what happened. I said to them, if you will all text me this, I wasn't sure what to give them as a gift. Now, Jen Bessinger, she's very generous. She gives them any one item at half off. And I thought, well, what if they pick like the glycolic radiance peel or a sonic brush or something? And I'm thinking, so what if they do? Like, you're trying to get these people to fall in love with me, the product, and the customer. I thought, you know what? It's my first party with this format. I'm going to offer that because who knows how many of them are actually going to text me their form, right? So we end the party right at 8. Okay, by 8:15, all 9 women had texted me their cards. I was like, wow, okay, that really works. Didn't tell them what the gift was. They had no idea what the gift was. So then I texted them each back, and I said, thanks for sending the tic-tac-toe. This is the important part, ladies. I said on there, on the text, I said, thanks for sending the tic-tac-toe, and I put a heart emoji. I said, what time tomorrow is good for me to call you and check in and tell you about your gift? Okay, all but 1 replied back, because this is all within 10 minutes of the party ending. All but 1 replied back, oh gosh, call me in the morning, I'm going on a hike, call me before 10. Or one said, oh, actually, if you could call after 1 o'clock, that would be great. So I just literally on a piece of scratch paper wrote down the time and their name, their time and their name, their time and their name. So the only person who didn't end up sending me their reply back was my hostess, which I thought was funny because maybe she just thought it didn't include her. So as I'm calling each person, I'm just going to role play with you really quick. Let's say that the person's name was Melinda. I said, Melinda, oh my gosh, thank you so much for being on last night. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And Melinda would go, oh my God, Diane, it was so much fun. And my opening question is, how did your face feel this morning? Because I have them sleep with the moisture gel mask on. And Melinda would say, oh my gosh, Diane, my face this morning felt amazing. Now remember, she sent me her tic-tac-toe, which I've now transferred her tic-tac-toe to the back of the profile card I made, which is just our Xerox profile cards without the carbon thing. So anyway, I had written down what was on her tic-tac-toe. And so I said to her, so once she told me, like, I said, how did your face feel? She said, it felt amazing. I said, well, Melinda, tell me what you'd like to start with. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at her tic-tac-toe, and a lot of them, they put pieces of the skincare. She goes, well, I love the cleanser, I love the eye cream, and I love the night cream. And I'm like, okay, so that's like 3 steps of the miracle set or whatever. And so what I did is I looked at the tic-tac-toe and I said, well, tell me what you'd like to start with. And as she's rattling things off, I'm putting a line through them, meaning that's what she wants to buy. So several of them said, I want to get skincare. And then I said, well, if you buy skincare, you get 1 other set at half off. So it was like, bundles of things. Like I bundle stuff. So once she was done with that, I said, now, Melinda, do you want to know what you get for texting me your sheet? And she goes, yeah. And I said, are you ready for this? I said, I've never done this before. I may never do it again, but guess what you get? Any other item at half off. And she goes, seriously? I go, yeah. And so a bunch of them had wanted the deep wrinkle filler. I hadn't demoed it. I just held it up. I talked about it. I normally never demo that at a party. And she goes, well, you know that like Botox wrinkle pen or whatever, that one that fills in the deep wrinkle? She goes, I want to get that then. And that's I want to say it's a $48 item. Don't quote me on that. So she added to her order. Only one of the women said to me, well, can I take something off of the list of what I just bought as half off? I said, of course. So she said, well, then give me the hydrogel eye patches at half off because she just ordered those. But everybody else added 1 more item to their order, again at half off. So here's the outcome of the whole party. Not counting the hostess because I'm closing with her tonight because she was on vacation. Out of the 8 women, $1,460 in sales, so $1,460. 2 people booked parties off of it. 1 gal was interested. I've sent her the opportunity. And then the hostess I talked to briefly last night because she just got back from vacation. She goes, so I'm curious, on that tic-tac-toe, did anybody put down that they were interested? I said, well, Lori did. Why? And she goes, well, because I kind of am. And she was the only one who hadn't sent me her tic-tac-toe. And I said, really? She goes, yeah, I've already talked to a few relatives, and they said they'd tried Mary Kay decades ago, and if I was a consultant, they'd buy for me. And she goes, you just had a lot of fun, and it was a lot more fun than I thought, so I think I want to join. So I'm going to probably end up with 2 team members, $1,440 in sales, 2 bookings from doing 1 party. So you guys, here's the deal. Whether your party's like that or your party's bigger and better or your party's maybe not quite that high in sales or whatever, it's just doing one. It's the power of one. So from that party, I booked 2 more. So then I was so excited when Becca booked that party. I thought, oh, well, who else is going to say yes? So I just decided to get a yes a day for a whole week. So then I called a customer of mine. I said the same thing, and she goes, yeah, I'll do that. She goes, can I check with my friends first? I said, sure, but can you call me back by tonight because my spots are filling up? And she goes, sure. And she called me back and booked one. Then I called my sister-in-law who hasn't had a party for me in, I don't know, maybe 15 years. And I said, Lisa, I'm doing this brand new format. I'm totally excited, but I'm a little scared. I don't know what I'm doing. Would you have one for me? And she goes, sure, I'll invite all my girls from choir. So her party is this upcoming Monday. 11 women. I've mailed out packages to all 11. They are all super excited. So you guys, what I'm telling you, though, is you can do this. You can turn things around. It's a decision. So what you do is grab a piece of paper tonight. I'm going to ask you to make a list of 10. These are 10 people that love you, would do anything for you, come pick you up by the side of the road at midnight if you had a flat tire. Maybe they love the product. Now, Becca doesn't really know me very well. I mean, she's only been a customer of mine for a month, but she's super sweet, and every time I walk by the office and drop off product for her, she's always friendly and nice, and she's the one who just booked that $1,400 and whatever dollar party for me and now wants to join. And the next one was my sister-in-law. The another one was a customer of mine who's bought from me for about a year and a half and then even got her sister to start getting on skincare with me as well. And so she's excited. Her party is this Friday. So you guys, if you booked 3 of these in a week, because probably only 2 are going to hold, and you held 2 parties, and let's just say they were half of mine or a third of that. Let's say they were $400 or $450. If you did 2 of those a week, that's $800 or $900 a week in sales. That's $1,800 in your pocket. You guys, could you get excited about that? Now, 2 of the women were local enough that I took product off my shelf and delivered it, and the other 6 were all CDS. Actually, that's not true. 3 I hand-delivered. All the rest were CDS. Fortunately, I had everything in stock they wanted. Repair skincare, sonic brushes, hydrogel eye patches. But you guys, it's the power of one. One class can turn it all around. Now, my party this Friday, it's small. It's the hostess, her sister, her best friend, one other friend, and her 14-year-old daughter. So it's just going to be 5. But out of those 5, what can happen? What is going to happen? What is the momentum that's going to happen? You guys have complete control over that. I know this was a super long recording, but I just hope and pray that this inspired one of you to just, you can still do watch parties. You can still do that stuff, but what if you took control and you had your own hostesses? You had women texting you going, I'm so excited about next Friday. You guys, they are out there. Make your list right now, the second you hang up, of who those 10 women are going to be that you reach out to and use those words. I'm super, super excited. I've decided to go all virtual. I'm excited, but I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done this format before. What would it take to have you book a virtual party for me? It's that simple, you guys. Have an amazing day.